What is going on, guys? Ted here with the A-Team. Today we're going to go over 4 tips on how to get better cinematic audio. Let's do this. Alrighty, so now we are on set with my friend Andrew Jones, who is an amazing location sound mixer.
Oh, thank you.
Andrew has worked with brands like GQ, H&M. He's mic'd people like Demi Lovato and Mark Wahlberg. Really, he's done it all. And today he's going to go over 4 tips on how to get better cinematic audio.
So your number one tip, and that is use the sound effects that you have at your disposal. So often filmmakers and sound mixers really feel embarrassed about using sound effects because they feel like they're cheating. They feel like they didn't get it right the first time in camera or in the recorder. Just accept the fact that you will use sound effects. Everyone in Hollywood really does. So there is no shame. So just do it. Use the sound effects. You can really create a textured environment of audio for your movie that wasn't there. When you add sound effects, you can really create the environment. Often we try to record in the most quietest environments possible, but then your film sounds vacuumous and hollow. You need to go back and add all those sound effects to really kind of make it feel real and alive.
Right on. So don't be afraid to add some character to your audio. Tip number 2, let's do this. Alrighty, so now we are on set for our second tip. Now, what is that second tip for better cinematic audio?
Number 2 is very, very simple, and that is boom perspective. Often when you get a lavalier on an actor, they always sound like they're 6 inches away. But when we actually shoot in a wide shot, they should sound like they're in a wide shot. By actually making it sound like they're in a wide shot from the boom being further away from the actors, you actually create the character of the camera. So the audience now feels like they are getting to experience the scene with the actors. Boom perspective is very important because this really can set the scene. If you always feel like you're up close and personal, it can feel very claustrophobic. If you're in a nice wide open space, it should have a nice wide open sound.
The key here is just to know that it exists in the first place. Do you want close-up sounding audio or do I want wide sounding audio? And what's better for the story?
Exactly.
Right on. Let's go right to tip number 3. Alrighty, moving on. Tip number 3 for cinematic audio. Andrew, what is it?
Tip number 3 is one that is free, and that is record wild sound effects, known as wild takes, on site after the scene is done. Nothing is going to sound better than the sound effects recorded at the location with the right people in the environment that the movie was shot in. Your canned sound effects are going to sound very much like that, a canned sound effect.
Now, if you're still having trouble kind of wrapping your head around this, think about it as Foley on set. You're already there, you've got your recording gear, you've got your actors, you've got your props, you've got the sound of the environment. Why not get the sound effects there, get them clean?
Exactly, and you can also do what's called a wild line, and that is where you have an actor repeat a couple of the phrases they may have said a few different ways. And that way, if you're shooting a reaction shot, you can throw in one of those lines without having to worry about syncing it up with the actual mouth.
Okay, wild lines. Going on to tip number 4, let's do this. All right, 4th and final tip, let's hear it.
This one is very simple and any filmmaker can do it. Just like you'd get a close-up of someone, they're trying to deliver their nice clean close-up. You don't want the other actor invading the shot. You also don't want the other actor invading the audio of that shot either. You want the actor to deliver their lines by themselves and then record the other actor delivering their lines by themselves. In post, you can actually make them talk really fast. You can make them talk a lot slower. The slower you want them to talk, the more drama you can add to your picture. The faster you have them talk, the more comedy you can add. But you have that option now in post because you have clean dialogue without anyone stepping on top of each other.
Clean dialogue. Now that's the key word here. Now Andrew is not saying that your dialogue should never overlap each other.
Exactly.
If you're writing your Aaron Sorkin piece where everyone's interrupting each other and they're in a court case and they're all yelling objection at each other, they're allowed to overlay each other and you can get that in your one take. But at the very end, before you move on to the next scene, make sure you get a clean take of each actor delivering their lines. That way, if in post you have options, if you want to cut someone's line out, you can cut it out without having the audio overlaid. And if you want to speed up a scene, you can shorten the distance between each line, or you can speed it up.
Exactly.
Options is the name of the game. So there you have it, 4 tips on how to get better cinematic audio. Andrew, break them down.
That's simple. Number 1, and that is you should use your sound effects. Don't be embarrassed. Everyone does it. Number 2, and that is boom perspective. Think about how you can get creative with the perspective of your audio. Number 3, record wild lines and wild takes on your set. And number 4, and that is get clean audio. It's gonna make your editor very happy.
If you guys don't know already, Andrew's from Deity Microphones. Deity Microphones is a microphone company that originally started at Aperture, but has since sprung off into its own microphone company.
So Deity Mics, we actually just launched our new S-Mic 2. It's our short shotgun. It's a real workhorse kind of microphone. It's good indoors, good outdoors. If you only had to carry around one kind of microphone, we think it's the S-Mic 2.
Right on. We're actually giving away 3 S-Mic 2s, so if you want to figure out how to win one, we're gonna put some information there down below. You can also find Deity Microphones on Facebook, Instagram, the works.
Yep.
On their YouTube channel, they're doing sound tutorials, just like how we do lighting tutorials here on the Aperture channel. If you like this content, make sure you find Aperture on Facebook, Instagram, the works. YouTube, we've got lighting tutorials coming out all the time, how to become a better filmmaker. And once again, I'm Ted from the A-Team, and we'll catch you guys next time.